Hello internets, this is Little V here, doing my first ever online drum lesson. I'm pretty stoked. Hope you guys are pretty stoked too. So for this lesson, I'm going to throw in some little basic stuff here. Stick technique, a couple little rudiments for you to try, stuff for the beginners. And then towards the end, I'm going to show a couple little tricks that I do to help me while I'm playing. Alright, so for the newbies out there, to learn how to basic drumming, let's start with, well, the basics. How to hold a drumstick. There's actually two main grips. So this grip here is called matched grip, and the reason why it's called matched is, well, for the obvious reasons, it's matched. So, how you hold this one is you take it between your pointer and thumb, on I do it about a third of the way up the stick, and you hold it. This is the only really spot you actually hold it. Now you don't want to hold it so tight that, you try and break the stick in half, but you don't want to hold it so loose that you drop the stick. So nice relaxed thing. If there's anything you take away from this lesson is that you have to play relaxed. Even all that crazy fast stuff you always see, that's all like, all that kind of stuff. It's relaxed. You can't be tense. Can't pull it T-Rex. If you've pulled a muscle before, you really don't want to do it again. I'm pretty sure at least. Anyways, back on topic. A little ADD there for a second. You hold the sticks like so, and then these fingers here are really just cradling the stick. There's some more advanced techniques you can use them for, but for the beginners, they're really just there. I mean, you kind of use them while you're playing drums a little bit, but the only really spot you actually hold are this. Now, when you're playing, you want kind of like a V shape, like so. Almost, think back to elementary with all the biker stuff, the whole mallet things. And when you hit the drum, or practice pad in this case, you kind of want to like bounce the stick. So kind of like a idea. You don't want to like drive it in. You kind of just want to let the stick bounce off. Now, when playing drums, it's your full arm has a part to play. Every part of your arm has a part to play in this. It's not just your wrists. I mean, it's good exercise to just work your wrists. In fact, if you have any little wrist weights, I would advise you to use them. Either strap on wrist weights or little exercises, or take the weight like that and do stuff like that. I'd advise doing that. It would definitely help you along. Anyways, back on topic. So, yeah, you want kind of almost like a whipping motion when you're playing between your arms here. Kind of starting from the elbow, moving your way up, and just like cracking a whip kind of idea. That's the basic motion behind it. That's matched grip. Now, on to grip number 2. This is the not as known one. Usually you see this more in jazz and blues, stuff like that, funk, and that is traditional grip, which looks more like this. Now this one's a little bit different because, as opposed to matched grip, is the up and down motion with your wrist. It's not up and down, it's side to side with this one. So it's almost like opening a doorknob. If you ever dipped your hand in water, splash like that, etc. That's the basic motion behind it. So, if you are right-handed, this goes in your left hand, and if you're left-handed, vice versa. And how it works is take your left hand, palm up like so, put the stick like that. Now this becomes your fulcrum point here, just like how you have it on this one. By the way, your right hand stays the same for this. And that's now the new fulcrum point. Same idea. Don't, squeeze it so hard that you try and crush it, which would actually be really impressive. And don't try and drop the drumstick. So, just take your stick like this. Almost want your thumb to stay up, and you just kind of crank your hand back like that and do that. Start by doing this. Get used to this motion first. Don't even worry about these fingers yet. And just try cranking your wrist back like that. Now, these fingers are more of, like I said, cradling once again, and how it works is 2 on top, 2 on the bottom, so it goes between your middle and ring finger, like so. And really, you move them right out of the way for the really loud stuff. It's kind of impossible to play quiet, or to play loud with holding this stuff. That, and you tense up really bad, so not a good idea. Like I said, really just for cradling, so your stick doesn't end up looking like that when you're playing. Once again, you want a V shape going. Now, due to the nature of this grip, you might want to tilt your snare drum slightly this way, so you can hit the rim shot a little bit better, because it's sideways and whatnot. Just fix this here. It looks like it's kind of coming undone. The nature of this lesson, I'll do both of these, matched and traditional grip, and show you how to work both. But we're going to start with something really basic, really simple, rudiments, which are like the scales of a drum kit. We don't play melodies, we play rhythms. So, start with, well, two basic ones. There's something called the single stroke roll, which is right, left, right, left, right, left, and the double stroke roll. Double being 2, single being 1. See what you did there. Is right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left kind of idea. Now, let's work on just single stroke roll. So, like I said, it's just right, left, right, left, right, left. Now when you're practicing this stuff, I'd advise using a metronome. I mean, if you're playing any sort of musical instrument, definitely use a metronome, but drums especially, because we're usually seen as being timekeepers and whatnot, and then, you know, oh, drums keep time, no one else keeps time. And actually, if you get really good at using metronome, playing within and out in time, you can start getting really out there and just mess with the entire band to see if they can catch up. Now, when practicing this, you kind of want to play at a speed that'll challenge you, but not tensed up. And you want to be able to do this for about 5 minutes. So, if you're going to play a little bit faster, you want to be able to maintain this speed for like 5 minutes straight to a metronome without stopping. That does a couple of things. First off, it builds the muscle in your, well, everything really, wrists especially. And then it also helps you learn the rudiment. You'll be thinking, oh, I can do right, left, but there's some rudiments that get really, really confusing. And it's just good practice. I mean, it's dull, boring. Trust me, I know it's boring. In fact, I found out that this material here is the same thing at the bottom of your shoe, so if you want to use that as a practice pad, go for it. Maybe not in, like, you know, school or at work. That'd be a terrible idea. Single stroke roll, traditional grip. Okay, now, double stroke roll. This is the stuff you usually use for like buzz rolls and, you know, and the winner is kind of stuff. But we'll play it slow first because it requires a few techniques that I'll touch base on next time. So, double stroke roll works like this. Right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. Same idea. You want to keep metronome on hand if you have one. Keep everything even. This will be a little bit more challenging for your left hand, especially if you start playing a bit faster. And like I said, this started coming into more rebound techniques, which I'll cover in a later video, but, you know, all that kind of stuff. Sorry, double stroke roll, traditional grip. Now, on to a couple of advanced things I do. I've been doing a lot of death metal recently, so I have a couple little practice routines I do to help with the whole, you know, crazy stuff that goes all over the drum kit. Now, if you're familiar with death metal, you're usually doing a lot of blast beats, which are essentially a single stroke roll, where it's just, you know, kind of like a kind of idea. But, you know, then you're also doing fills and stuff too, which also end up being, you know, so I've started doing double stroke rolls more for that, to give my hands a break for the really, really, really fast stuff. So as an exercise, what I do is I take the single stroke roll, like that, and I'll switch off between the double stroke roll, try and keep everything even. Like so. So I'll switch off, I'll go like single, double, single, double, and stuff like that. And now also keep in mind that, you know, not every head is going to be equal, so you're going to have to use a lot more force when doing that on toms to get the even strokes there. So yeah, once again, it's just, you know, single, double, single, double. That kind of idea there. Alright guys, I hope this has been informative for you. A little bit of insight into some basic drums and You know, my little techniques that I use on when I'm playing. I hope to make this a weekly thing, like I would with drum covers or, you know, throwing up little random stuff. If you want to check out some of the stuff I've been doing, you can go to my Bandcamp page, you can go to my SoundCloud page, you can go to my MySpace page, but I'm not really into that anymore, so I rarely update it. Or you can check the bands too, Canine Castigation, My Friend Alice. I hope you guys learned a few things, hope you guys had fun. I had fun playing. Little V signing off.